Good evening. Welcome to a world gone mad. Everybody, if you could please tap the fuck out of the screen, hit the heart button down there, share the live if you could, please. That would be greatly appreciated. Good evening to you too. What's up? My THC levels. What's up with you? I'll tell you what's up, Conley. I'll tell you what's up. We just got notification right before we went live here. Breaking news: Donald Trump considering sending thousands more Marines to the Middle East to secure the Hormuz Strait. The only way he can do that with ground troops is by going into Iran. So that's what's up. You're stuck in Chicago, O'Hare Midway. Brian, hello. I don't know if everybody had a chance to see, but the new community section on my YouTube page is Service Plaza. Gotcha. The new community section on my YouTube page here is set up. We're doing polls. You have an opportunity to communicate with the rest of the community in one centralized location. What else did we expect from the Orange Man? I kind of thought he'd have a heart attack by now, but I guess that was too much to ask for. Yes, another Duggar son was just arrested for inappropriate sexual relations with a minor. Because these people cannot stop having relations with children. Will Renee be stopping in? Saturday she will be. An AI-friendly Val Kilmer will posthumously appear in a new... Ring still? How about now? Okay, we're going to restart this. Okay. Am I here? Can anybody see me? Yes or no, Renee? Okay. Okay, that was weird. I don't know what the hell was going on there. Fucking technology, you know? You be here? Well, it's better than me being there. It's the trolls. You never know. It's the gremlins. They're starting to fuck with the technology. I am almost out of weed. I got to make an Illinois run tomorrow. I just filled up. Greetings, all. Greetings back at you. So, how do you feel about the Democrat Senate candidate? We talked about that already, Chris. I have no problem with her. No problem. You're in Montreal. As a nation, you guys are doing better, but locally, we're doing pretty good here. We're in a solidly blue state that just showed it's got its head on its shoulders last night and or yesterday, I believe, in the primary. But yeah, as a nation, I think you guys are doing better. Oh, Watchdog, it's constant, absolutely constant. Living in Indiana, surrounded by 4 legal weed states, and having it is yeah, it's crazy that it's crazy to me that something is legal on one side of the border and illegal on another side of the border, depending on what. I mean, you could go from one town to the next town over, given the fact that they're on two different sides of the border, and the same goddamn action is illegal in the next state. It's insane. With the Duggars having 30 kids, what did you expect? Some of them yeah, like I said earlier, I think that religion plays a far bigger role in the problems that the Duggars have than the number of kids they have does. Was it buffering? That's what everybody said it was happening. I don't know. I don't get to see it on my end. On my end, it always looks just normal. Well, as normal as I can look. No, they can never get the right your. Absolutely, they never can. There and there seems to throw them quite a bit. Uh, Punctuation is usually a stumbling block for most of them. Time I've been scrolling YouTube for an hour, and out of all the idiots that I've had to watch, you're the only one that has the sound reasoning that one needs to hear. Well, thank you. Tap the fucking screen, blow up the likes, hit the hearts, share the live. If you could, please send it in a text, post it to your Facebook or your Instagram. Let people know that we're live over here. I greatly appreciate it, guys. 2, 2, and 2. Yeah, that really throws them too, doesn't it? The parents were fucked up for having that many kids. Well, I mean, some people have a lot of kids and some people don't have a lot of kids. To me, that's a shit ton of kids. Back in the day, that was a normal amount of kids. Um, I think that for the people that are our age, right? You can't imagine growing up in a house with 30 kids. Like, you saw the shit that your parents struggled with 2 kids or 3 kids or even 4 kids. You can't imagine 30. So for us, we think of those kids and go, well, you had a fucked up childhood because, you had your parents couldn't possibly pay attention to you, and everything was different than the normal quote unquote household. But you know, to each their own. It's not something that I would do, you know, but it's not unheard of. It's when you do that and then you throw in this really extreme religious position, shit starts to go haywire, and I'm sorry, but those really fringy type of religions, they got a real fucking problem with messing around with the kids. Be sure to keep a little boogaloo at all times. I'm Pops, and I need to say that it is vital to sanity. The stupid are multiplying, so puff, puff, and enjoy the ride. Oh, keep a little herb on hand? Yeah, I'm good. We got herb. We're set. We could fucking disappear for a little while right now. Go on a nice, one of those 12-day road trips. Haven't been on one of your streams for a while. What has changed? I've gotten older. How do you think gas prices will get in the summer? I think they're going to be fucking insane. I think they're going to be fucking insane. We're already in the threes by summer if this doesn't change. And that's the key part right there. If this doesn't change, if they don't figure out this situation in the Middle East, $5-6. Mr. Global seems to think it could get to 7. Listen, at the end of the day, if they don't turn this thing off soon, everything is going to get out of control because the cost to transport everything is going to skyrocket. $3.69 at your house. Somebody else said $3.99. I know it's already over $5 a gallon in California. Did you get a haircut? Actually, no, I got all of them cut. $3.59 by you in upstate South Carolina. Where you live in Georgia, it's already $3.69. Yeah, it's climbing everywhere. So summer's going to be absolutely fucking batshit crazy. And I'm going to be in New York City in early July, and if they don't get the fucking TSA situation straightened out, and we got to drive to New York, shit's going to get interesting rapidly. I mean, don't get me wrong; it'll be a fun drive and all. We'll have a blast doing it, but still, you know what I mean? Diesel. Oh yeah, diesel's already insane. Absolutely fucking insane. Oh my god. The fucking the absolute fucking stress that I would be experiencing in the back of my head if we were still in trucking with I mean the diesel is just on an absolutely solidly upward trajectory right now, and there is no signs that it's going to stop. $250 a month ago. Well, I know. Here's what I know. When when Joe Biden left office the last day, January 20th, 2025, the cheapest gas by us at the Sam's Club was around 320 something, and upper three teens, lower 320s, right? It is well above that right now, and it continues to go further and further up. 2.5 pounds of ground beef for $13.94 that you paid at Aldi today. Yeah, that's the other thing. Meat prices, and I don't typically look at prices when I grocery shop. I just never really have, and it's not. I just don't look at it, right? I always went of the opinion that, well, we need to eat, so we got to go get food, and it costs what the fuck it costs. Renee does a lot of shopping when it comes to food, and yeah, when I can see in her face that when we're buying meat that it's a stressful experience, I know shit's out of control. Biden left office, gas was 2.43 per gallon. It might have been the national average, but I said the cheapest gas by me was in the 320 something. So, I don't know if that was the national average or not. I was just giving you the gas price by me. I want to try Malort. Is this a bad idea? I remember you talking about it a while back. It's a horrendous idea that you should absolutely follow through with. Seriously, that's the correct answer. Um, every time you voluntarily drink Malort, you regret it. Your mind regrets it, your body regrets it, your very essence, your very being regrets it. But you have to do it sometimes. It's you know our family is out in the suburbs, so it's not really too heavy on the Chicago traditions. But like if you go to Chicago, you got to do a fucking shot of Malort. And the people that live in Chicago, yeah, it's definitely a thing for them way more than it is for the suburban people, but it's still a thing for the suburban people. So yeah, you shouldn't ever voluntarily drink Malort, but you should absolutely do a shot of Malort. The red batters or the red hatters are pretending the gas prices are a good thing. Of course, yeah. I'll gladly pay a little bit more in order to free the Iranian people who have been under an oppressive regime for 45 years. Bullshit. You didn't give a shit about giving a dime to Iraq or to Ukraine to fight off the Russian invasion. It's such fucking bullshit. But you know something? Nobody deserves to pay the fucking high gas prices better than them. And they can put on a bullshit happy smile and make a TikTok talking about how it doesn't fucking matter, or another Facebook post talking about how it doesn't fucking. At the end of the day, it matters, and it's hurting them. You know it's hurting them. I know it's hurting them. They know it's hurting them. And so, to each and every one of them that's putting on this bullshit facade about how this is no big deal, yeah, enjoy that fucking gas, you piece of shit. You voted for it. You know, I'm kind of kicking back, looking at it, going, my commute to work is walking from one end of the house to the other. Good luck, MAGA, with all you guys that got to fill up your big old fucking tiny dicked fucking pickup trucks. Hey, good luck, motherfuckers. Pull that big old fucking Chevy into the gas station. Boom, 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 boom. You rolling coal motherfuckers. Yeah, fill it up again, asshole. Hurts, doesn't it? I don't know what the alcohol content in it is. You remember when gas was 24 cents a gallon. The cheapest I remember gas being was like 68 cents, somewhere in that range. It was definitely in the six. It was between 60 and 70 cents. I never had gas in the 50-cent range, but it was definitely in the 60-cent range. I seem to remember it being the high 60s, 66, 67, 68, somewhere in that range. And I remember everybody losing their ever loving shit when gas crossed $1 a gallon, a dollar a gallon. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. You're a liberal, but you have an F-150. You know the guys I'm talking about, Jacob. You know the guys I'm talking about. I have to go into the office 3 days a week. I'm going to hurt, I think. Yeah, that sucks. $369 in Connecticut a month ago. It was $250. Yeah, he knows how to fuck things up, doesn't he? And now we're going to send another 25. Well, it didn't say. It said thousands more Marines into the Hormuz Strait to try and secure the Hormuz Strait. And the only way you do that is by putting those Marines on Iranian soil to try and secure that side of the strait so that missiles can't be fired from there, which means that we're at war with an Islamic Middle Eastern nation with a population of 90 million. You guys bike a lot in California. The city of Chicago is a huge commuter city, and a ton of people take public transportation in Chicago. It's one of the top cities in the nation as far as public transportation use, ease of public transportation, and public transportation options. So there are going to be a ton of people in Chicago that won't necessarily be felt, or they won't feel it from a transportation standpoint unless fares go up dramatically. It'll be the cost of everything that they buy that could go up as a result of increased shipping costs because of higher fuel costs. Anyone in Jersey uses the MTA to NYC. I don't know what the MTA is. It has been over 30 years since I've been in New York. I'll be in New York in July. So we'll figure that shit out then. Flying into LaGuardia and then probably taking a cab or an Uber over into Manhattan. Well, then go ahead and puff, puff, pass, my friend. The best way to travel downtown is using the CTA. In Chicago, yeah, I mean, if you don't want to spend the money on gas and parking, because parking's a bitch, then yeah, getting around Chicago using the CTA is an excellent option, especially if you're already in the city. If you're from the suburbs and you got a Metra in and then start taking the CTA around, maybe it's a little bit different. I always choose to take my car because it's just easier for me. I have a 2022 Nissan Frontier pickup. I'm glad to get around 24 miles to the gallon. Ouch. Come visit me, boss. How long until the gas prices go down, if at all? Well, until something changes in the Middle East. We've got a bottleneck of the oil. I mean, 20, I think talking to, or not talking to, listening to some of the energy based content creators, 20% of the global energy supply goes through that strait, or did. My guess is until something changes in the Middle East. I mean, we're even seeing the Dow dropped another 768 points today. It's now down. Remember how they were going 50,000, 50,000 on the Dow? Everybody look at that. And yes, 50,000 was a record high. The Dow is at 46,225. So it's crossed 50,000 and it's come all the way back down to just over 46. When Joe Biden left office January 20th, 2025, the Dow closed at 43,487. 3,000 more points. If this thing drops 3,000 more points, which it could easily do in the next 3-4 days, it drops 3,000 more points. We're right back to where we were at the end of the Biden administration, and then we're starting to go into negative territory. What was your career in the blue-collar atmosphere? I was a landscape contractor. I recently visited Chicago for a concert, and I had a blast riding the trains to Globe Center. I live in my van and have an e-bike. It was fun riding it on lakefront. Right on. If the liberals and the tree-hugging hippies would let drill for oil here in America, I think gas prices would go down. Here's the problem. Joe Biden approved more drilling rigs than Donald Trump did. Under Joe Biden, we produced more oil than we had ever produced in the history of our existence. Somebody keeps feeding you a line of bullshit, my friend. Do we have a troll? Seems to me we actually have a couple of trolls. It's not about drilling, it's about refining. Yep, we've been over this a million times, but they don't get it. Were you in a union when landscaping? No. When I was a laborer, I worked for a couple of different companies, but the one I worked the longest for as a laborer, it was a large company ish, but it was still non-union. They still took care of their people very well, which is why nobody wanted to really rock the boat and get a union. When I crossed over into project management, then I started working for shops that had union workers. But being a manager, I was not in the union myself. I oversaw union labor. And then when I had my own company, the last 6 years of my career, when I had my own company, it was me in a truck with a trailer that was parked in my driveway and a couple of guys working for me. So, I mean, yeah, we weren't a union shop. We were 3 guys out fucking doing landscaping. I am interested and terrified of what will happen when 47 is finally forced to deal with the consequences of his actions, specifically regarding Iran. What he's most likely going to do at some point in time is declare victory and then walk away. However, he doesn't know how to get to that point yet. So this thing keeps ratcheting up. We have 2,500 Marines almost to the Persian Gulf. Today, they said that they want to send thousands more. He doesn't know how to turn it off. And I don't know who around him has the balls to step up and say to him, this is what you need to do. You got to stop this. You're the only one that can shut this off. Does 47 even make it to next year? Well, there's the other interesting part of this whole thing. If old age were to catch up with him and he were to pass away in office and JD Vance were to be elevated to the president, all of a sudden we have a situation in which we're switching presidents while we're actively in military engagement in multiple countries, by the way, because we're still in Venezuela. And I think that it would be absolute fucking chaos, more so than it is right now. Unless, of course, JD Vance would be the kind of president that would just turn this whole thing off. But I don't know how you turn it off once you put boots on the ground. I don't know how you put a few thousand Marines in Iran and say, we're going to secure your coastline so that no ships get hurt. And Iran just goes, yeah, okay, we're cool. And don't just blow the hell out of those fucking Marines. Is JD Vance just as crazy as Trump? Nobody's as crazy as Trump. JD Vance is just a different brand of crazy. Very religious, very right wing. But like if JD Vance were to take over, I think that JD Vance would do things a lot quieter. It wouldn't be as chaotic. He probably wouldn't continue on with some of the Trump policies, but he knows more about how to get legislation passed, and he would be more dangerous from that standpoint. What would also suck, if you want me to be completely honest with you, if I'm going to be forward thinking about it, you don't want Donald Trump to croak in office because he's going to be if the Democrats take either chamber of Congress, he's going to be a lame duck president, right? He's going to be muted. He's going to run around and he's going to start conflicts and he's going to sign executive orders and run his mouth. But at the end of the day, his agenda is not going to get through Congress. Period. Then you got 2 years until you get to the presidential election. He's going to try and run his mouth and pretend like he's going to run. It's really not going to happen. But the Republicans are going to probably then put up JD Vance, right? And he's going to have the stench of Trump on him. And you're going to have 2 years of Trump getting crazier and crazier and crazier as he can't do shit. If JD Vance takes over, maybe they run JD Vance because if Trump wants to run again, then JD Vance can't step in. I'm sorry. Maybe they run Vance. They wind up probably running somebody other than JD Vance if Trump makes it through his term. If he dies in office and JD Vance is elevated, then JD Vance can run again in 2028, and he runs as an incumbent that has the ability to run for 2 more terms because he didn't run for the remainder of the term he would be serving out for Donald Trump. And he could become the new hero of the MAGA movement. Could. If Trump passes. If Trump survives, if he lives out his term and he's just this crazy old fucking coot that's running around, running his mouth, but kind of ineffective because the Democrats hold Congress, I think it really kind of harms the Republicans going into the presidential election because it's like that's still their guy, that crazy old coot. You know what I mean? JD Vance is not like uber intelligent, but he's way smarter than Donald Trump is. I mean, Trump is the dumbest president we've ever had. Like, from a literal stupidity standpoint, the dumbest we've ever had. Would you have the same feeling if it was I think Pence is very Vance-like. Both far right wingers, both ultra conservative Republicans, both sold their soul at the altar of Trumpism when you know that they fucking both hate Donald Trump. Both played the part of lapdog. I mean, in the entire time that Mike Pence was Donald Trump's vice president, he did one thing correctly, and that was refuse to not certify the election results. Other than that, he was just Trump's pet. Same thing with JD Vance. He's Trump's pet. JD Vance called Trump America's Hitler. Said there was no way in hell he could ever vote for him. You know, it's disgusting to know that these guys absolutely hate him, but they're so deathly afraid of his base, which is 30 to 40% of the Republican Party, that they're all willing to sell their soul. You know, Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, JD Vance, Mike Pence, all of them across the fucking board. They all hate this fucking guy. Nikki Haley, who wound up being his ambassador to the UN. Jimmy Carter was an okay president. I think that Jimmy Carter could have been a little bit more effective, but Jimmy Carter had a bad message at a time when people were hurt. And at the end of the day, even though Jimmy Carter was way more in tune, I believe, with the working class people than Ronald Reagan ever was, at the end of the day, you don't want to tell the working class people of America in a bad economy while they're hurting, wear a sweater, turn the heat down a little bit, help the nation save on energy, which is what uh, Jimmy Carter did say to the American people when he was president. We're in an energy crisis, and you guys can help by, maybe wearing a sweater around the house and just turning your heat down a little bit. And people don't want to fucking hear that. People want to hear, man, I go to make my money. I should be able to afford to put my fucking heat on or put my air conditioning on or whatever. And so people got a sour taste of Jimmy Carter. And then Ronald Reagan came along, and he was really, really, they called him the great communicator, right? That was Ronald Reagan's nickname, the great communicator, because he could fucking speak. You could put him in front of people, you can put him in front of a podium, you can put him on camera, and he could fucking wow the pants off. He was the great communicator. And he figured out that you can take the evangelical people in this country and use them as a solid, formidable voting base if you just give them what they want. Tell them that you're going to ban abortion and put women back in the kitchen and you know stick gay people back in the closet and whatnot. That's what they wanted. If there was no rich people telling people to cut back, would be that went by quickly. Okay, but everyone knows everyone is not going to cut back. Exactly. You're welcome, cheese and pickles. I think MTG would get backing from the old school MAGA types if she tried to run. MTG is probably done. I'm being very serious. Marjorie Taylor Greene came out of Congress worth, I think, over $40 million. She stayed in just long enough to get a lifetime pension from Congress. And she goes back to a construction company that's extraordinarily successful that her father started and handed down to her in Rome, Georgia. She she's got money. She's set for life. She's like, I don't need to fucking deal with this shit. I don't think you're ever going to see her in politics. Maybe you see her on like talk shows every now and again and shit like that. Maybe she does a podcast, but I seriously think she's of the opinion. Why should I put myself through this, man? I got $40 million on a lifetime pension. Bye, Felicia. Love the guitar in the background. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Exactly. She gets paid for her appearances on the various shows. She'll get paid for appearances left and right. Maybe she writes a book at some point in time, but she's already well off, and she'll continue to generate revenue that way without having to deal with being actually in Congress, and being in the, she listen. Marjorie Taylor Greene is an extreme lunatic, but she also can read the writing on the wall. And the Republicans are probably going to lose the House, which means she would have been in the minority, which means you're not getting shit done. You're not getting a goddamn thing done. And the shit that the president wants you to vote for is all insane. And so there's no point in that. She cashed out. She's good to go. Now we just need to get Lauren Boebert to get to the same fucking point and go back to Colorado and, I don't know, give fucking handies in the movie theater like she did to that other guy. Which, no big deal. If that's what you want to do it. But then just go do that. We don't need you in Congress. Yes, she was a true believer in Trump. Remember when she rubbed the groinal region of the Trump cutout at that group when she was talking to that group of women?
I'm so sorry to bother you. I need you to give me a time. I want to schedule a video because I have a community post that goes with it.
Okay.
And so I just need you to give me a time so you can mark it off on your schedule so I can get it scheduled because I have to schedule the community post at the same time.
Why do you need a time for me?
Well, because don't you put times, like mark them off when you...
Yeah, but if my posts are going to post whenever I post them, so you have an additional post.
It's linked to a video.
Oh,
So can you give me...
like I don't know, 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Just
Thank
remind me of that.
Yes.
Okay. Boebert is smarter than Trump, and that says a lot because Trump has the brain mentality of a shit stain. Where is Frank? Not in here. I have my door closed. All hail Taco Supreme Leader. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now that the cat's out of the bag for the people that are uninitiated, this is an official meeting of the Taco Club of America. Everybody, find yourself a partner. Make sure you hit the doobage really hard and get your taco order in early because the kitchen is back the fuck up. You forgot I was on. What's up, Laura? How you doing? I really think MTG got mad at the Republicans didn't. Yeah, she wanted to be a senator in Georgia, and they were like, absolutely fucking not. Andrew, thank you very much for the $5 donation. Hope you're doing well. I am. Thank you. First donation of the night. Appreciate it. We have now made $5 in the first 40 minutes of this live. We are crushing it, boys and girls. Be jealous. Be jealous. I won't accept her till she apologizes. Real to David Hogg, right? All hail. You're kind of getting official there. Do I got to change the head up? Do I got to go with the Napoleon? Sorry, that's not on right. There we go. Should Mamdani run for governor or senator after his term as mayor is up? How about we see how he is as mayor first before we start putting him in higher office? Where did I get the hat? Amazon? I got a certified check from Shanahan Township for an investment in the township. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you hate Bernie? Hate? No. I've been displeased with Bernie for quite some time. I actually agree with a lot of what Bernie has to say. Not everything, but no, I don't hate him. There is nothing that MTG could do to make me stop hating her fucking guts. The damage she has done to the trans community has been beyond fucked. Tell us how you really feel, Laura. I was doing a show 4 hours. What? I don't know what that says. Do you like Fat Boy ice cream sandwiches? What is a Fat Boy ice cream sandwich? Could Vance's career be over if Trump has a falling out with him? Well, I don't know. Is Pence's career over? The risk that you take by hitching your wagon to Donald Trump is he could fucking destroy you before it's all over, as he so frequently does. It's a brand of ice cream sandwich. I kind of put that one together, but I've never heard of it. Did you see Mark Wayne Mullen confirmation hearing? Oh, he's fucking... Mark Wayne Mullen is... Listen, I don't think that you need to have a college degree to be a good senator. He is the only senator without a college degree. He's a former MMA fighter. And I think he has been hit in the head one too many fucking times. That's the guy who said, "What was we ranked in reading and math in the 1970s?" to the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. And when Linda McMahon immediately said, "What?" he fucking repeated it and said, "What was we ranked in reading and math in the 1970s?" Mark Wayne Mullen shouldn't be running a fucking bingo hall, let alone the Department of Homeland Security. Who's dumber, Mullen or Trump? Mullen. Trump knows how to manipulate people. Mullen doesn't even know how to lie properly. Mullen is dumber. I mean, he is just a stupid human being. I am a progressive and don't give any of the Abrahamic religions a pass ever. Okay. Do you think Bondi will resign before April 14th, the date of her deposition? No. Dana, I don't think so. I know that she said, I think that she's sort of implying that she's going to defy the subpoena anyway. Because at the end of the day, what is Congress going to do? Recommend the Attorney General for charges to the department that she runs? You know what I mean? They don't have marshals to send and go arrest her. It's not like they can send in troops to get her. All they can do is recommend that the Department of Justice charge her. And she runs the Department of Justice. So that's not going to happen until she's gone. And before she leaves, Trump will probably pardon her and everybody else that remained loyal to him until the end. Trump is 30 pounds of stupid in a 10-pound bag. Actually, I really view Trump more of to me he's more like 350 pounds of liquefied dog shit poured into a cheaply made Chinese suit. People still think they will leave willingly. Should any of the people in the administration, okay, I don't know about that. Who would you want to rep the Dems in 28? I don't know. Let's get through the midterms and see who emerges. We didn't even know who Barack Obama was until like late in the game. So, you have your typical players right now. I think the two biggest names that are going to run for president right now, before we know what kind of names emerge out of the midterms, the two biggest names are going to be Gavin Newsom and JB Pritzker. And either one of them would probably give any Republican a run for their money. I don't see AOC being ready for the presidential scale, and I don't. This country has shown that they're not willing to elect a woman for some reason. So I wouldn't recommend having a woman on the top of the ticket, although two of the last three Democratic nominees were two of the most qualified nominees in the history of the country, and they were both women, and they both lost to Donald Trump, which shows that this country still has a fucking problem with women in leadership. So your names right now are going to be Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, Mark Kelly's name is going to be in there, Pete Buttigieg's name is going to be in there, and then somebody's going to emerge. You know what I mean? Yes, Adam Kinzinger. So, is that Renee? Are you in your office? Yeah. Could you get whoever is hitting my door away? Adam Kinzinger was originally down from the Kankakee area, but he couldn't get elected down there after the districts were redrawn the last time before this last time. So he moved up here, and he literally moved into this town, Shanahan. And he was the representative for the 16th congressional district from here, and the district stretched from here all the way up and up to Rockford, but like around the whole suburbs, right? But yeah, this town only has 13,000 people in it, and he was one of them. This is where he lives. Yeah, Jesse Ventura is not going to be a president. I have no idea what you're talking about, Joss Riz. If we get through this, do you think Zoran might have a shot in 30? Man, listen, who the hell knows? He's not even been mayor for how long? Let's see how the guy does at mayor. He might fucking suck. We're talking about Zoran Mamdani for presidential candidates a couple of election cycles down the road. The fucking guy hasn't even been mayor for 6 months. Let's see what he does. He's an unknown that hasn't been tested yet. We got to let him, we got to see how he runs New York. Yes, it was funny when Trump say the President Newsom, Trump is, yeah, he's absolutely fucking nuts. He was talking about how Gavin Newsom could never be president because Gavin Newsom has dyslexia. Yeah, so did JFK, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. And Donald Trump thought that we had airports in the Revolutionary War and didn't know not to look into an eclipse and didn't know that Colorado wasn't a border state. Do you think there's a reason why Trump behaves the way he does? He literally believes that he is genetically superior to every human being that has ever lived. That has been pushed into his head from birth. He's talked about it in his books. He's talked about it in interviews. Way back when he was just Donald Trump and not a politician. He has talked at length about his genetic superiority. He is quite literally America's version of Kim Jong-un. He believes that he could have been the greatest golfer of all time, the best baseball player of all time, the greatest military commander of all time. He believes he's the greatest businessman of all time. He believes he's the greatest lover of all time. Everything that you could possibly be in life, he's the best at. He's genetically superior to everyone in his mind. But yes, magically, he had bone spurs when it came time to actually go fight and test any of that. Meanwhile, people like John McCain come from a military family where generations of his family served in the U.S. Navy, and McCain was an actual war hero that got shot down in Vietnam and spent 6 years in a POW camp being tortured, which is why he couldn't raise his right arm the way he couldn't raise it for the remainder of his life. And when he was given an opportunity to get out of a POW camp early because his father was a prominent admiral in the U.S. Navy, he said no unless everybody that was with him went with him. He stayed with his troops, with his people. He didn't abandon everybody and use his privilege to get out. Meanwhile, the other day, Donald Trump posted an image of himself in his military school cadet uniform next to his parents, right after several posts talking about how he was crushing it with the military in the Middle East. We're probably months away from him actually wearing a fucking uniform with fake medals and shit. His band uniform, right? Yes, exactly, Mark. I talked about that in great length. Right? That's got to be coming, right? Him in actual military uniform, addressing military personnel, somewhere in a campaign overseas somewhere. It's got to be coming, right? He's eventually going to reach that like fucking dictator bullshit insane level where he's, trying to bang the hooker with just the fucking hat and the medals on. The dude's insane, man. Okay, he didn't abandon his own men. That shit has been disproven over and over and over again. Are you really still pushing that bullshit propaganda? My God, man. That is just fucking embarrassing. If Trump wears uniform, I'm going to lose my sanity, right? We probably are going to start having yearly military parades. I mean, this is the kind of shit he wants. That's for sure. Donald Trump is already the worst president of all time. He's the only president in American history that tried to overthrow his own government. Fucking enough said. He is the only president in American history that did not allow the peaceful transfer of power. I mean, that's it. On top of everything else he's already done. That's the fucking list, man. Am I a fan of the band? Yes. Yes. Well, he's not the only president to never show his tax returns. The tradition, the unwritten rule of showing your tax returns began with Richard Nixon. He's the first president since Nixon not to show his tax returns. So that includes Ford, Carter, Reagan, Poppy Bush, Clinton, W, Obama, and Biden. Interviewed Jacob Anders for Congress. What do you think is going to happen to MAGA when Trump is finally gone? Do you mean gone out of office or gone passed away? Is this yet another YouTuber obsessed with Asmongold for what the hell is Asmongold? The U.S. need a complete overhaul from the government? Yes. He's the only POTUS to actively try to undermine and dismantle the foundation of the country? Yes. Trump should be with his first wife? Jesus, Mary and fucking Joseph. Jacob Anders is polling at 48% in deep red Tennessee. Why aren't you interviewing me? Honestly, because I don't know who you are. I'd have to look into you first and foremost. A big one, says Aunt Bob. Asmongold is a degenerate far-right streamer who doesn't wash his arse. Is there a segment of YouTube I am utterly and completely unfamiliar with? Because, yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Tax write-off on a golf course? That's too good. Asmongold is a rage battery who got famous playing video games and has moved into political shitposting. The unwritten rule of hockey fights is more solid than the unwritten rule of government transition. Are you shitting me? Government transition is something that has occurred in this country since the dawn of the Republic. I did a video about Asmongold. I do a video about a lot of people. I got this fucking cat. You hear this cat digging at the door?
Eddie. Oh, it's not Eddie. Sorry, guy. I didn't yell at you. You know who it was?
Who?
Fred.
Fucking Fred. I was at Gene and Jude's and thought of you and your story. Did you get a hot dog? Did you throw up? He kind of looks like South Park Jesus. Okay. Sir, what would you like to know about my platform? I'm not going to get into it right now, man. I've been on for an hour. I don't know who you are. With all due respect, I'm not going to get into it live with 135 people here. Send me an email. Asmongold's room is a dump. Okay. I mean, I remember doing a couple of rooms about like dump or videos about dumpy rooms. Do you think MAGA will continue to be strong as if? No, I don't. I don't. The guy that wanted to say slurs. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Price drop. 4-bedroom, 3 batch, 2,600 square feet, $445,000. 400,000. 400,000. 445,000. You've emailed and DM'd me on Twitter. I'm sorry, I've got a ton of emails that I haven't had a chance yet to get to. If you emailed it to the old hippie at Old Hippie Media, then it's sitting in my inbox waiting to be addressed. Fred must have heard his name being mentioned, so he figured he'd come paw at the door. That's the thing, I wasn't even mentioning him. I wasn't making cat sounds. I don't have treats in here. Hey, what is this? Play Tom Powell Jr. and here you are. Well, how you doing, Ben? I watch you all the time and value your opinions. Thanks for being a strong voice. Well, thank you. Appreciate that shit. Asmongold literally flinches when drinking water. What the fuck? The world is full of strange people, man. It really is. There's a guy on TikTok that does daily lives that go on for hours where he's Russian and he's standing in a trash filled, dumped out room with paint on the walls and just like crack house city, right? And he's shirtless and he's wearing a bear head and he's screaming and hopping around. You know what I mean? Oh my God. Actually, you read something that one of the people said that people asked where Fred is. So you, okay, I did mention his name. You're right. What do you think about Nick Fuentes? I think Nick Fuentes is fucking insane. Do you think he's the most dangerous alt right grifter? No, no. He has a very small, very loyal crowd following of absolute fucking cowards. He is nobody. Will you ever try to do a live with Tizzy Ant? Oh, I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Is Steve Bannon worse than Nick Fuentes? Oh, by a mile. By an absolute fucking mile. I am running for head of my own damn household, and I am currently running third to my wife and her dog. Please have me on your podcast. I see what you did there. Is Charlie Kirk worse than Nick Fuentes? He was. Is he still? I don't think so. There are a lot of people that still wear the merch and still have "I am Charlie Kirk" in the fucking bio and still wear the Freedom t-shirts and shit like that. But Erica doesn't have the same shit that Charlie had, whatever the fuck that was. when Charlie Kirk was alive, he was most definitely more dangerous than Nick Fuentes. I don't know that he is now. His influence is still there, but waning. So I don't know. Daddy O Conley's voting for your wife in that three-way race. Thanks for voting for me. Have you seen the 2025 Yemen Orb UFO video? I have not. Miller talks to Trump and Donald listens. Yes. Vote for the dog, Conley. He's cuter than her. Damn. Dude, that's your wife. Putting the dog out there first. Do you think Charlie Kirk believed the stuff he said or was just a grifter? Oh, I think he believed it. I think he was extraordinarily racist. He believed that white people were superior. He did question whether black people were qualified to do things. The only thing I don't think he really truly believed that he didn't talk a lot about, but the people that he followed and supported talked about was the hatred of Chicago. Charlie Kirk was a Chicago guy. He hung out in Chicago all the time. He did Instagram posts and videos from Wrigley Field all the time. So he did not necessarily believe in all of that Chicago bullshit. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been there. You know that. But no, he was racist. He was sexist. He believed women belonged in the kitchen and black people were inferior. He believed all of that. And he truly believed that we should have almost unfettered access to weapons in this country. And eventually, that's what bit him in the ass. Doggo got my vote. Charlie Kirky. I just popped a perky. Did you read my question? I don't believe I did. Fred!
Hey, come here.
This fucking cat. Have they been fed?
No, I'm working. I got it. The shorts won't be done tonight.
Okay. Well, the dog is man's best friend. The wife is a close second. Thoughts on the NBA expanding to Vegas and Seattle? Are they expanding to Vegas and Seattle? I got to be honest with you. Without pulling it up, I don't know that what that does to the divisions and the alignment. Vegas seems to be attracting every sports team. They're getting a baseball team, or they have a baseball team, a football team. You're talking about the NBA. They have a hockey team. So, I mean, Vegas, I understand that completely. You said, what was the other one here? Hang on a second here. Thoughts on Seattle. I think the NBA should have always been in Seattle. I didn't want to see the Supersonics leave. Man, Sean Kemp and the Seattle Supersonics back in the day was the absolute shit. You know what I mean? '96 Bulls over the Sonics. Those were some good fucking times, man. That was back in the day. You had Clyde the Glide Drexler playing. You had Michael Jordan playing. You still had the greats like Bird and Magic playing. You had young guys coming on like Sean Kemp that were absolutely blowing up rims left and right. It was Ewing, Miller, all of. I mean, it was Barkley. It was what's the guy? Karl Malone. It was it was a glorious time for the NBA back then. It really was. And Sean Kemp and the Seattle Supersonics were part of all of that. I hated to see the team leave Seattle. So I got no problem with them going back to Seattle, the NBA, that is. Sean Kemp, the Rain Man. Dude couldn't read, it was rumored. But he could fucking play basketball like nobody's business. Yes. That was the ironic part about what happened to Charlie Kirk, is who got him and how they got him. How often are you live and is your schedule available? I usually go live on Monday nights with a guest where I interview somebody. That time fluctuates based on the guests availability. What we're doing tonight is something that I normally do on Tuesday nights, but I did not do last night because I was enjoying time with my family, having some St. Patrick's Day celebrations. But Monday nights with a guest, Tuesday night alone, Saturday nights with my wife Renee, and then I do these things I call impromptu lives. Every now and again, whenever I get a burr up my ass, and I just go live at the moment's notice. Spud Webb Duncan, yes, absolutely. 2000s NFL peak. Brady, Peyton, Ben, Romo, Eli, Breeze, Vic, Favre. And I come from an earlier period of time where you had John Elway, Dan Marino, you had Boomer Esiason, you had the guys, Phil Simms out of New York, Joe Montana, Bernie Kosar. Shh, Chris. Shh. Ewing had a manhole cover noose. Look, oh, Ewing was a bad man. Elijah Wan, Ewing. I mean, Walter Payton. Yeah. Can you please let Fred in? He doesn't want in anymore because now he's being fed. And you got a couple more minutes with me, and then I'm going to go put my feet up before I go take a shower for this evening before bed. Tomorrow I'm going to finish plugging the last of the numbers in for the tax people, for the accountant, and I will be meeting with the accountant on Monday, getting that process wrapped up for the year. And then we get ready in short order here for our daughter's baby shower. Dikembe Mutombo, yes. Mount Mutombo played for the Denver Nuggets. Am I doing a March Madness bracket? No. Jerry Rice, yes. Jerry Rice was probably, I mean, he was a phenomenal talent, right? Generational, all time great. He was also extraordinarily fortunate in that he had Joe Montana throwing to him and then Steve Young throwing to him. You have two all time great quarterbacks throwing to you. It's going to help you. How does it look like taxes are going to treat you this year? Well, I don't know yet. I don't know until she has a chance to run all the numbers. Can we please go back to the 70s? No. I don't want to go back to the 70s. The 70s were a shit time for me, and I got a fantastic wife, four great kids, two wonderful granddaughters, and a grandson on the way. I don't want to go back to the 70s. You'd say the 80s. A lot of people would probably say the 80s at some point in time. Do you pay quarterly estimates? Yes. Don't forget Rodman, Ozzie Smith. Yes. Wasn't even born then, so no thanks. I love it when I get these notifications that people I know added snap stories. Maybe Jerry made them all because they don't do well without Jerry Rice is to go. That's true as well. That's true. Although I think Joe Montana was that fucking good. You know what I mean? I think they were that I think he was that fucking good. Guys, I am gonna wrap up here though, and I'm gonna go put my feet up, and I'm gonna enjoy a little bit of downtime, and then I'm gonna take a shower and put on some clean clothes, and just melt into the bed, smoke a little doobage, schedule some things for the various social media sites for tomorrow. If you're not following me on any of the other social media sites, just a reminder, in addition to being here on YouTube, I am on not only TikTok, but I have a Facebook page, I have an Instagram page, I'm on Threads, I'm on Bluesky, I'm on Snapchat, and I do a little bit of work on Substack. So, okay, you guys take it easy. Yes, Conley, I'm going to go eat a little dessert. Hasta lasagna.